This is DX Central Live. This is DX Central Live. This is DX Central Live.
Welcome to DX Central Live, Season 5. We will be starting the show soon, so make yourself comfortable and be sure to join in on the conversation happening in the chat. Also, don't forget to submit your shoutouts, so we can celebrate together. The shoutout submission link is in the video description for our live stream. If you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. While you are at it, giving this video a like and leaving a comment are great ways to help out the channel. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to seeing you in just a short while. Now get ready for DX Central Live, Season 5. Welcome to DX Central Live, Season 5. We will be starting the show soon, so make yourself comfortable and be sure to join in on the conversation happening in the chat. Also, don't forget to submit your shoutouts, so we can celebrate together. The shoutout submission link is in the video description for our live stream. If you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. While you are at it, giving this video a like and leaving a comment are great ways to help out the channel. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to seeing you in just a short while. Now get ready for DX Central Live, Season 5. Welcome to DX Central Live, Season 5. We will be starting the show soon, so make yourself comfortable and be sure to join in on the conversation happening in the chat. Also, don't forget to submit your shoutouts so we can celebrate together. The shoutout submission link is in the video description for our live stream. If you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. While you are at it, giving this video a like and leaving a comment are great ways to help out the channel. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to seeing you in just a short while. Now get ready for DX Central Live, Season 5. DX Central Live, Season 5. We will be starting the show soon, so make yourself comfortable and be sure to join in on the conversation happening in the chat. Also, don't forget to submit your shoutouts so we can celebrate together. The shoutout submission link is in the video description for our live stream. If you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. While you are at it, giving this video a like and leaving a comment are great ways to help out the channel. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to seeing you in just a short while. Now get ready for DX Central Live, Season 5. to DX Central Live, Season 5. We will be starting the show soon, so make yourself comfortable and be sure to join in on the conversation happening in the chat. Also, don't forget to submit your shoutouts so we can celebrate together. The shoutout submission link is in the video description for our live stream. If you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. While you are at it, giving this video a like and leaving a comment are great ways to help out the channel. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to seeing you in just a short while. Now get ready for DX Central Live, Season 5. Welcome to DX Central Live, Season 5. We will be starting the show soon, so make yourself comfortable and be sure to join in on the conversation happening in the chat. Also, don't forget to submit your shoutouts so we can celebrate together. The shoutout submission link is in the video description for our live stream. If you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to hit the subscribe button. While you are at it, giving this video a like and leaving a comment are great ways to help out the channel. We thank you for your continued support and look forward to seeing you in just a short while. Now get ready for DX Central Live, Season 5.
This is DX Central Live.
In the night, so dark and quiet, frequencies hum low like a riot. Tuning in with all my might, searching for a voice in flight. Cajun air, it holds the sound, radio waves from town to town. Static crackles, mix and turn, waiting for that name to learn. Signal fades, the name's unknown, trying to catch it all alone. Mystery calls the night, my friend, searching till the very end. Moonlight dances on the dial, rumbling with that Delta style. Notes float softly in the wind, still I wait for news to send. Signal fades, the name's unknown, trying to catch it all alone. Mystery calls the night, my friend, searching till the very end. Bayou whispers keep me still, craving for that lingering thrill. Misted voices lost in haze, echoes in this southern maze.
This is DX Central Live.
He's got his antenna way up in the air, dreams of Latin music out there somewhere. Cards in his hand, maps on the wall, late nights waiting, but he gets no call. All those radio waves, they play with his mind, searching for signals, but they're so hard to find. From Puerto Rico to faraway land, tune in the static, still no guitar in hand. He's there in the darkness, waiting for a sign, humming to the silence with a hopeful line. But the airwaves are quiet, nothing comes through, just another night, feeling deja vu. All those radio bright star. And in his small room, by the glow of the moon, he waits for a melody, morning or noon. Signals may fail, but his hope never fades. Seeking the music his spirit demands. Another dawn breaks, he's still at the dial. With every sunrise, he promises a smile. From Puerto Rico to faraway land, tune in the static, still no guitar in hand. He's there in the darkness, waiting for a sign, humming to the silence with a hopeful eye. But the airwaves are quiet, nothing comes through. Just another night, feeling deja vu. Oh, those radio waves, they tease and they taunt, with promises of rhythms, with a hopeful line. But the airwaves are quiet, nothing comes through. Just another night, feeling deja vu. And in his small room, by the glow of the moon, he waits for a melody, morning or noon. Signals may fail, but his hope never fades. Seeking the music his spirit demands. Another dawn breaks, he's still at the dial. With every sunrise, he promises a smile. Someday the frequencies will carry his tune. Till then, he dances to the rhythmless boom.
This is DX Central Live.
I got my radio on, just trying to get on it. But my baby says no way, so I'm stuck in this chair. I dream of signals far from north to east to west, but I can't put up no antenna. She says it's for the best. Dreaming of DX, signals I can't hear. My baby won't let me, so I'm sitting here in tears. That static calls my name, whispering in my mind. But without that big old tower, the signals I can't find. I see the towers rise in a distant starry sky, but here I'm bound in time, can't even say goodbye. Dreaming of DX, signals I can't hear. My baby won't let me, so I'm sitting here in tears. Dreaming of DX, signals I can't hear. My baby won't let me, so I'm sitting here in tears.
DX Central Live is brought to you in part by
For more than 90 years, the National Radio Club has been at the forefront of providing DXers with the latest in station news, DX-related technical information, and reception reports from DXers around the world. The NRC's AM radio log, now in its 45th edition, is the most expansive and detailed resource of station information for US and Canadian radio stations that is available in any format. The club's publication, the DX News, is available in both print and electronic format and provides the latest information on call letter and format changes, construction permits, and other information to help keep DXers informed of the latest updates they may hear on the air. For more information, visit their website at nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org. With a lifetime membership, the International Radio Club of America gives DXers incredible value by putting important station information right at your fingertips. The club's e-publication, the DX Monitor, includes DXer loggings, station information updates, international loggings, and more. Other club publications include the IRCA Mexican Log, a must-have resource for any DXer that chases stations from Mexico, the TIS HAR list, the IRCA slogan list, sunset sunrise maps, and DXer technical guides. The joint IRCA-NRC email reflector and groups.io group is a hub for real-time DX conditions, station news, and DX-related conversation. For more information, visit ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. From long wave to satellites, medium wave through HF, ham radio to scanners. If you can DX it, the Spectrum Monitor has you covered. Editor and publisher Ken Reitz has assembled a who's who of radio writers to share their knowledge and expertise from a wide range of DX-related topics. Each month, the Spectrum Monitor's columnists dive into their specialties to give readers tips, tricks, the latest news and station updates, and more. The Spectrum Monitor also provides a monthly assortment of feature articles that give in-depth insight into the past, present, and future of DXing. You can get a full year of the Spectrum Monitor for only $24. Individual issues from the current year are available for $3 each. You can also purchase previous years of the Spectrum Monitor in their entirety for as low as $12. For more information, visit thespectrummonitor.com. That's thespectrummonitor.com.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
El Salvador? No way. CRET? You serious? That's her. That's her.
You're watching DX Central Live with Lloyd Van Horn, and that's a very wise thing to do.
It's a Friday night, Lloyd in the North Shore, setting frequencies right. AM and FM, the airwaves collide. DX Central Live, where the signals can't hide. Tuning in the static, chasing down the sounds. Every single signal is magic we have found. All radios hum, the chatters all agree. DX Central Live is the place to be. Folks in the chat, shout out your call. From east to west, we're breaking down the walls. It's the magic of the night, where frequencies fly. Join us now on DX Central Live.
From the Gulf South,
To your corner of the world.
this is DX Central Live.
Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
From the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana. Studio A is where you'll find us on Friday nights for DX Central Live. Season 5, Episode 12 coming at you on a very, very busy DX week. It's not just the AM this week, y'all. We got FM going crazy with some meteor scatter. I talked about it last week. We had a really good Perseus meteor shower back in August. Dare I say, Geminids? Wow. Wow, I'm seeing so many pings. In fact, we're going to be looking at some of those tonight. Live here on the air. We've got a big DX test coming. Woo-hoo-hoo. WZON Bangor, Maine. Unfortunately, some of you may have heard, Stephen King is going to shut down his 3 stations up in Maine that he owns. Yes, the Stephen King, and WZON is one of those. And but they have graciously agreed, as one of the more stronger stations of the 3, at I think 5 kilowatt daytime non-directional. They're going to allow us to have a DX test before they go. So we're going to talk about that tonight, and when you can tune in, and when you can join us here live on DX Central Live for that DX test. Details coming up here a little bit later on in the show. We're going to be talking, speaking of tests, we're going to be talking about how you can use a different kind of test to help put stations in your logbook, on the AM side of things at least. And that is the EAS test. Those little required weekly and monthly tests and things like that, they stick out like a sore thumb. You can hear them usually down in the weeds and towards the noise floor. Well, you can actually use those to help you get stations into your logbook, and especially if you're targeting specific states. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Of course, we got to get to your shout-outs. So make sure you go to dxchallenges.com/shoutout. I always have to do it that way, because if I don't do it that way, I butcher it. /shoutout. I just can't say it any other way. /shoutout. That's how I have to say it. Yeah, we'll get those shout-outs in, and we can celebrate together, as we like to do here at DX Central Live, for all the new stuff you're hearing, new states, new countries, new whatever, new antennas that you put up. We're working on some antennas. You guys know I kind of have a constant weekend project every weekend of some sort of antenna work, and that continues this weekend. We're going to go back to the SuperLoop, the big, massive northwest-southeast SuperLoop I've been trying to put up now for, 3 weeks? We're going to go back to that again this weekend and see if we can make it happen. We've got a new frequency range for a medium wave frequency challenge to get to. And in fact, I've kind of teased it a little bit. This is going to be our last frequency range for this season of the medium wave frequency challenge. We're not going to do frequency ranges anymore, set ranges of specific frequencies, because starting next week, we're going to a theme-based approach. Every new challenge will be centered around a specific theme. Okay, and I can't think of any. Yeah, I can't think of any that would restrict you based off frequency. I think all the themes are pretty wide open as far as frequency goes. But it'll be something every 2 weeks, basically, for the most part, except for the first one. Every other one will be every 2 weeks. We'll have a new theme to push us to hear certain kinds of things on the radio. So a little bit of a different thing, because we've gone through now. This is our 4th season of the challenge. And we have now hit at least twice on every AM frequency. Some of them we've done like 3 or 4 times. But every frequency has gone through at least twice once we do our last week this week. And so, yeah, I decided, let's change it up a little bit. Let's make it a little more kind of random here. So we're going to open it up a little bit, and we're going to focus on specific themes and see how that goes for a little while. Give you guys something new to kind of target after. Also, our final little bit of things here on the agenda tonight is some new firmware from the folks at Airspy for their HF Plus Discovery and HF Plus Dual SDRs. And while I have not installed it yet here at the shack, because I don't have any antennas currently on the AM side, at least, plugged into an Airspy, I do on the FM side. I just haven't had a chance to get around to it. This has been a doozy of a week on the day job front, but we're going to talk a bit about it because from everything that I've been told and everything that I'm hearing, this firmware upgrade is like, whoa, a big difference maker for the Airspy. It's already a tremendous, both of those are tremendous, especially the Discovery, a fantastic, phenomenal SDR. This firmware upgrade, I'm being told, makes it like even more sensitive, even quieter, just better. Like it basically just polishes up that silver into a nice shine. So we're going to talk a bit about that, how you can download that. We do have a video up here on our YouTube channel that talks about how to make upgrades to firmware on the Airspy SDRs as well. So you can use that to help you guide through it. It'll work for any of the firmware updates they have as they're pushing these out. I think this is version 5, I think is what it was, wasn't it? So very excited to get into that one a bit. And of course, your not just your shout outs, but what you guys are talking about in the chat. See, the chat is just going crazy. So love to see that. But let us know in the chat what you're hearing. If you have a frequency you want us to try out, if there's some kind of special cool thing going on right now, someone's off that shouldn't be, like, if like a big 50 kilowatt is off air, things like that, we like to go check those out. But we are going to start with a little bit of DX to start us off this evening. We're sitting on our 2 frequency challenge frequencies, 1380 and 1390 this week. And we've been having a really good week with that so far. So let's go ahead and take a look at those here. We'll start off on the northeast antenna here. So this bit of live DX is brought to you by the National Radio Club. NationalRadioClub.org is the website for more information about membership and to the oldest DX-related club in North America, I think in the world, actually. All right, here we go. We have the Perseus here, and we're sitting on 1380. We've had a doozy of a week, 1380 and 1390. The frequency that never gave me anything except for Mississippi, 1390's actually been producing a little bit for us here, which has been pretty nice. Let's go ahead and start on 1380. We're on the Northeast KAZ. Let's see what's up. So I'm just going back and reading all the stuff in the chat you guys have been talking about here while I was rambling on and on. Ermagerd SHOUTOUTS. Dude, when that meme first dropped, that was my wife and I, that's how we talked for like 6 months. Everything was in that meme. Oh, man. Well, he says it's not outside antenna work weather here. It's always antenna work weather. Always. Mike Bates, hey Mike, says Airspy firmware new version seems to really make a difference on both Sharp and console. See? It's not just me saying that. And like I said, I haven't even tried it out yet because I don't have an antenna on the AM side plugged in. So I gotta get that going. I might try that out this weekend. Go ahead and just do flash the Discovery and get that going. Especially if I can get that new SuperLoop up and running. Let's see. Let's check while we have this nice music here on 1380 that's going to probably give me a copyright slap on the wrist. Let's check 1390 and see what we got going on over here. Oh, Stephanie, you have the original version 1 firmware on your Airspy? If so, I think, yeah, you have to short out some pins. inside the case. It's not difficult to do, but I don't have an SDR running that firmware for me to demonstrate with, unfortunately. Mama Sita's in the house. We've got some gospel in here, which actually there's like 4 stations this could be. 2 in Mississippi, 1's in Alabama, 1's in South Carolina, and I've heard all but one of them this week. I haven't heard the South Carolina this week. Every other one I've heard this week. Mom's had the crud that's been going around, the cold that everybody's been getting. I had it a couple weeks ago. Now she's got it. So she's probably bundled up over at the house, cup of tea, tuning in for some DXC Live. Love it. Love that she's here. Hope you're feeling better, mamas.
WNLA was sponsored by Delta Radio Network. Your business can reach more customers by sponsoring this station. Call WNLA.
DX Central Live, top of the hour alert.
Top of the hour time frame is hit. And we've got WNLA in here right now. I had to do that on one of my TEF radios when I did a firmware update on my portable they have over here, Stephanie. It's not super hard. It's relatively easy once you get in there and get it done. Top of the hour means we're looking for IDs. Let's go back to 1380. We just got WNLA in Indianola. A lot of stations in that ID. It's the Arkansas Rocks radio network, which, by the way, arkansasrocks.com is their website address. If you are a fan of like deep cut classic rock, I'm talking like not the stuff you hear on classic rock radio, right? The hot top 100 or anything like. I'm talking deep cuts off the album, stuff you're like, whoa. What was the one? I wish I could remember which one it was. There was a song, I think it was a Pink Floyd song, wasn't it? Sean and crew in the Slack channel. And I was like, dude, there's a station over here, and it was Arkansas Rocks doing it, playing, I forget what the song was. It was something really, really pretty groovy. And, yeah, You know, they play a lot of great stuff. So if you're a fan of the deep cut classic rock, album rock stuff, ArkansasRocks.com, one of those great radio stations out there still playing great music. There they are with some Beatles. Not exactly a deep cut, but they do play other stuff. They do play like hits and things like that from time to time, or like more well-known songs. But you're going to hear some deep cuts in there too. Welcome to the machine, Mike said. Yeah. That's what it was. Sean reminded me it was Remember That Night, David Gilmour. That's what it was. I knew it was Pink Floyd. It was David Gilmour's solo song, Remember That Night, which is beautiful, beautiful song. From his On an Island. I'm sorry, that's the name of the song, On an Island. Told you this day job has been kicking me in the butt this week. 1390, we had to be in LA in there. Let's see if we got anybody else coming in. Let me go back to the top of the hour. Oh, I would love it if they played Dogs, Rick. Animals is one of my all-time favorites. Justin's in the house. Hey, man.
Setting up a screen there. Doesn't really do anything as Eloine's got another 3-point shot. Now she misses that one. She's looking to go 3 for 3 right there.
Very nice, Sean.
She just misses that one.
I think mine might have been Blackwater by the Doobie Brothers. I think, maybe.
About 5 minutes to go left here as Mustangs lead 42-23 over Yorkchester County Lady Eagles. Charlie House with the ball now, passing down low to Chloe Taylor.
Anybody able to catch this county name he just said here?
Over Yorkchester County Lady Eagles. Mustangs lead 42-23 over Yorkchester County Lady Eagles. Mustangs lead 42-23 over Yorkchester County.
Is that Chester County? Chester County.
Charlie House with the Eagles, and I'm not too upset about that. About 5 minutes to go left here as Mustangs lead 42-23 over Yorkchester County Lady Eagles. Charlie House with the ball now.
Chester County basketball.
Over to Charlie House, and he'll take a 3-point shot.
Henderson, Tennessee.
That is another Centennial Bank 3-point basket by Yorkchester County Eagles here. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game. Eagles and I take the time for the Mustangs. Started by Alexis Rivers. Kind of pushing up the defense a little bit. Make sure he goes somewhere with it. And Alexis Rivers with the steal.
And we're on 1390. So is that near Jackson? I cannot remember where Henderson is.
Go back the other way.
Yeah, that's just southeast of Jackson. So that's to be TJF. That's who we have here. So that's 2 stations here on 1390 to be NLA, to be MER. I'm sorry, to be NLA and to be TJF. That's who we had there playing or with the girls basketball game. And then 1380, we definitely had in KZTS, Arkansas Rocks here in North Little Rock. I think we also had to be AOK here in Atlanta. They've been a regular visitor this week. Chuck and Dave. Okay, I think that's 2 of Us by the Beatles. So yeah, that they're probably doing a little twofer. They're a little Beatles twofer tonight on Arkansas Rocks. All right, I think that's going to get us caught up here. So we had WNLA and WTJF No surprise there. Those two are pretty common here on 1390. 1380 brought us KZTS, and I'm pretty sure to be A-OK. Again, nothing out of the ordinary there. I really hoped I would be able to get VSA to be VSA or to be RAB in Alabama this week on 1390. They just never showed up. It happens from time to time, right? Can't hear them all. So we'll keep trying for those. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we've got some more live DX obviously coming up for you, but later on in the show. And we've got a couple of topics to talk about as well. We've got some EAS test stuff to talk about and how to use those for hearing distant DX and maybe targeting specific areas or states. We've got the new Airspy firmware, and I'm going to see if you guys can help out our dear friend Stephanie. Stephanie has been trying for ages now from Palm Desert to hear South Dakota, from the Radio Hacienda there in Southern California, out in the desert, and thinks that she might have a clip that maybe has an ID in there that says a South Dakota station ID. We're going to take a listen to it together. We're going to see if we can crowdsource this. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but we're going to give it a good college try because we want to get South Dakota in her logbook. So we're going to do that and a whole lot more, plus your shout-outs coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere, my friends. More DX Central Live is heading your way right after this.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
With a lifetime membership, the International Radio Club of America gives DXers incredible value by putting important station information right at your fingertips. The club's e-publication, the DX Monitor, includes DXer loggings, station information updates, international loggings, and more. Other club publications include the IRCA Mexican Log, a must-have resource for any DXer that chases stations from Mexico, the TIS HAR list, the IRCA slogan list, sunset sunrise maps, and DXer technical guides. The joint IRCA-NRC email reflector and groups.io group is a hub for real-time DX conditions, station news, and DX-related conversation. For more information, visit ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. From long wave to satellites, medium wave through HF, ham radio to scanners. If you can DX it, the Spectrum Monitor has you covered. Editor and publisher Ken Reitz has assembled a who's who of radio writers to share their knowledge and expertise from a wide range of DX-related topics. Each month, the Spectrum Monitor's columnists dive into their specialties to give readers tips, tricks, the latest news and station updates, and more. The Spectrum Monitor also provides a monthly assortment of feature articles that give in-depth insight into the past, present, and future of DXing. You can get a full year of the Spectrum Monitor for only $24. Individual issues from the current year are available for $3 each. You can also purchase previous years of the Spectrum Monitor in their entirety for as low as $12. For more information, visit thespectrummonitor.com. That's thespectrummonitor.com. For more than 90 years, the National Radio Club has been at the forefront of providing DXers with the latest in station news, DX-related technical information, and reception reports from DXers around the world. The NRC's AM radio log, now in its 45th edition, is the most expansive and detailed resource of station information for U.S. and Canadian radio stations that is available in any format. The club's publication, the DX News, is available in both print and electronic format and provides the latest information on call letter and format changes, construction permits, and other information to help keep DXers informed of the latest updates they may hear on the air. For more information, visit their website at nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
This man told me to say you're watching DX Central Live with Lloyd Van Horn. Can I have my juice now?
Dreaming about new radios down at the hardware store. A big old antenna, all the gear that I adore. But these things ain't worth much if it cause a marital strife. So here I am, honey, asking for a blessing from my wife. Got my eye on a model with knobs that gleam like stars. Each dial a ticket to voices from afar. But I know our budget's tighter than a banjo string. Still, I thought I'd ask you, let's see what this might bring. Oh, darling, can you see the sparkle in my eye when I hear that static crackle and those voices flying by? It's a hobby, it's a passion, like your garden's green as sage. So let's go hunt the bargains and live in the radio age.
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
It's DX Central Live from Studio A here in the North Shore Studios in Mandeville, Louisiana. Every Friday night at 0045 UTC, we bring you DX, AM, FM, DX conversations, tips, tricks, and your shout-outs. So please make sure that you go right now. If you haven't done so already, go now, right now. Just open up a new tab. Go to dxchallenges.com. Either click on the shout-out banner or go right to dxchallenges.com/shoutout and tell us what you've been hearing. Since last week, we want to know new states, new logs, new countries, new gear, new whatever. Give us some stuff to pat you on the back and give you that horn of victory. That one, that's the one. And we'll do a virtual high five and make sure we get to celebrate together. All right. Before we go any further, and we talk about some of the stuff that we want to introduce here, I do want to get to our friend Stephanie, and while she's still in here, I know she usually jumps out for dinner there on the West Coast pretty early, so I want to make sure we have a chance to get her her clip played in here and see if we can crowdsource a answer for her on what we're hearing. And this is one that she posted in Slack, so you know what that means. Since this came from the Slack, we're going to talk about that.
From the Slack, it came from the Slack, it came from the Slack. That's where you'll find the job. It came from the Slack. The X is sharing tips now. It came from the Slack, and they're audio clips. Yeah, it came from the Slack. What they talking about, Lloyd?
We're talking about 1380 KOTA in South Dakota. That's what we're talking about here. Rapid City, South Dakota is a possible target here for our good friend Stephanie. And Stephanie is out in the SoCal desert looking for South Dakota, the last state west of the Mississippi that she needs. And she has a clip here from the 7th of December. And there's a possible ID in here. There's a couple of IDs that we have in here. One of them, you're going to hear the answer, which is KTKZ in Sacramento, California, a station that she already has. And that right before that, before you hear the answer, there is a possible ID here, what she's hearing. And I usually don't like to kind of give you what we're hearing because it kind of influences your ears a little bit. But what to listen for here is KOTA, which Dakota, that kind of makes sense, right? So KOTA around the 7-second mark. So about 7 seconds in. She's hearing what she thinks might be KOTA. And then you'll hear the answer right after that. So maybe it's wishful thinking, but maybe it's in there. We're going to take a listen and see if we can figure it out. Here we go. All right. Let's rewind a little bit here. I'll point again. Excuse me. I'll point again to the camera here, right at that 7-second mark. Okay. And just for those who are not familiar, format-wise, KOTA is, and I don't know this because I don't hear South Dakota very often from here, so I'm not familiar with stations in that area. They are a news talk station, 5,000 watts. News Radio 1300, they are a CBS network affiliate. So get those headphones on if you haven't got them on already, and grab them here. We're going to play it one more time. You guys let us know in the chat what you think you're hearing. Okay, so there we go. So let us know what you think in the chat. It's in there. I definitely hear the answer, and I hear what you're saying with the ta kind of sound. I'm not sure if that's how they ID. I really don't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar with the South Dakota stations. But there you go. That's what was grabbed. So let us know in the chat what you think you might have heard there. Definitely heard the answer in there from Sacramento, and I think they're an iHeart station. I think I heard that in there. But I heard the kind of ta right there before, but I'm not sure if that was part of the KZ in there. So there we go. Jeff said he did hear KO and then the answer. So that's Sacramento. We definitely have that one in there. So I'll let you guys kind of talk in the chat there about what we thought we heard. Let Stephanie know, and if she needs to continue to look for South Dakota, we'll keep doing that. If not, if that was it, then we'll celebrate that. We'll get your shout out in there. We'll celebrate it for you. All right, let's talk a bit about a cool DX technique that you can utilize to help you get more stuff in your log, and that is via use of EAS tests. So Stephanie, this might be another option for you for South Dakota too. So EAS tests are, there's a couple ways these can actually go out. One is during an actual like severe weather event or other kind of emergency where you actually have instructions, the whole, if this had been an actual emergency, you would have heard something in there, right? So we have that when there's like a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning or a freeze warning or hurricane, whatever. You get the usual EAS test with the screechies and the tones, and then if there's instructions, you'll hear those instructions. However, they are required to test the equipment for readiness, making sure everything's working. There's 2 tests that have to be done. One is on a monthly basis, and those are usually, in a lot of cases, statewide. A lot of some states will actually break it up by kind of specific areas, but a lot of them are, just like, okay, today, like tonight, we're about to have Louisiana here in the next hour. So we're going to try for that in the next hour. We're going to try to hear the Louisiana test and see if we can spot a couple of different ones, and I'll give you guys some time frames to look in. So you're going to be wanting to record, I would say probably from about 8:05, 8:10 Central Time. Okay. So I'm in Central Time, so about 8:05, 8:10 Central Time through about top of the next hour. If you have an SDR that you can record with and you're trying to hear some Louisiana stations, you're going to want to record kind of during that time. And I'll explain why there's a range there here in a few moments. But Louisiana is doing their test tonight, which is part of the reason that kind of influenced me to talk about this. So some states will do like, all stations in the state will do like Louisiana's tonight. Some are kind of broken up by region. Also, they're required to do kind of a required weekly test. And when I was in radio, we used to get ours fed from an FM station in Nashville. And so that was like our main EAS test station that we would receive audio from. And when they would go, we had 2 ways we had to do it. One, we'd receive alerts from them. So when they would actually have an alert coming through, it would kick off for us to automatically have one. And then I used to have, when I was on air, I have to go down into the transmitter room, go to the EAS machine and actually do the required weekly test and push a button and it would fire it off. So there you go. That's what is an opportunity for us to use to hear these stations. And if you know that a state or an area is going to be doing like a monthly test, you can then use that to try to hear as many stations as you can targeting that particular area. Last night we were targeting Rhode Island. I'd never heard them. They were firing their monthly test off last night. I never heard it. Got a lot of other stuff last night, but not Rhode Island. Wyoming randomly did theirs last night. They don't really stick to a schedule. They just kind of randomly fire it whenever they want to. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of websites here. We'll pop these URLs into the chat. So this first one here is the one I'll share here now. This is the EAS test schedule. And you'll see this is kind of broken out as a calendar here for the month, and you can export this out and things like that. So this is December. We're now here on the 13th, and you see here at 9:30, that is 9:30 Eastern time. So 8:30 here my time. Louisiana is going to do theirs. And it says 9:30, but sometimes some stations are going to run a little earlier than that. Some are going to run a little later than that. I think if I remember from last month, most of the Louisiana stations, most of the ones that I can hear here in the New Orleans area were about 15 minutes late, right? So it was around 9:45 or 8:45 local time. So that's why I say do a range when you're doing these recordings. Like if you look at this calendar here, right, and you see that a state that you need or want to try to hear is coming up, you can record, and I would give yourself about a 30-minute buffer on either side. And that can be a chance for you to go in there. And then what you can actually do to kind of plan ahead is go to a website like Tim Trump's site or Mesa Mike's or one of those and get a list of all the different stations in that particular state and find your high-powered ones, like your 5 kilowatts, if you can do that, or if you have higher ones like 10, 50 kilowatts, those are good too. And you can use those as targets to see if you hear them. And you know what to listen for. I mean, I think most of us have heard EAS alert. We'll hear it tonight when Louisiana does its test in this next hour. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna vary. Sometimes I think some Louisiana stations also do a little early, but I think most of the ones here in the New Orleans area are a little late usually with their tests. So this is a great way to kind of look and see, like, for instance, you better believe next week, I don't have New Jersey logged here from Mandeville, so you better believe next week on Sunday night, Monday morning at 12:50 a.m. Eastern, which is 11:50 a.m. here on Sunday night, or 11:50 p.m., sorry, Sunday night, I'm going to be looking for New Jersey stations. So I'm going to be sitting on 1660, 1680 in the expanded band because there's less congestion there. And anywhere else where I think I might have a shot on my Northeast KAZ looking for New Jersey, you better believe I'm looking for them. Likewise, that 4:50 a.m. is Utah. I think that's 4:50. That's probably, it says up here, times are displayed in either Eastern or Pacific. So Mountain and Pacific time zones will fall under Pacific. So that's 4:50 Pacific time. So that'd be 6:50 my time here. So that one might not be a super good one because that's really close to my sunrise out west. It might be a little too close to my sunrise to hear anything that far out west. Utah is one I really, really want though. And then you see like Nebraska here next week. Missouri's in there. Southwest Michigan is in there. So a couple of different options are coming up. DC's coming up. Georgia, Hawaii, for those who feel frisky. Pennsylvania, Indiana, Missouri again, Kentucky. So a couple of different options for some EAS tests coming in there. And so look at the time that's on there. And then my general rule of thumb is that I never assume that the time that it's going to send, that it says here, is the time that they actually send. So that's why, Jeff, I see the question you had in there. That's why I say give yourself a plus or minus 30 minutes or so. It may still fall outside of that for some stations, especially. But that, plus or minus 30 minutes gives you probably the best shot at getting most of the possible stations that might fire that test off at that time. So that's kind of my strategy that I usually look at. Another site that you can look at here, and I'll drop this one in the chat. This is a great place to look to see if a test fired. And for instance, I'm going to look here and see. I don't see that Rhode Island ever did send. So this will tell you when a alert has been fired. It could be a part of a test, or it could be part of an actual like alert, right? So this is another site that is available that you can use. And then the other option that you could have is if it's not a test, then it's something really, really legitimate going on. So kind of knowing where severe weather, where bad weather is going on is helpful. So that's where this website comes in. So there you go. This is another site that you'll want to make sure you bookmark. This is for the most recent severe warnings. So if you're hearing something that's not a part of a test, it's not, you look on the calendar, nobody's scheduled, right? At the time frame you're hearing something. You may just hear an EAS test randomly one morning or late at night or whatever. Come look at this page and see if there's anybody that's having any severe weather. It might have just been somebody firing a weekly test, but if there's something going on here, maybe it might coincide to an actual severe weather event that's going on. So that's there. Kyle, our friend DXFear in the chat, is talking about the opportunity you have to be able to decode some of those. I haven't done that myself. I know there are folks that do that. We have like our friend Ethan Hester from Boot Crew North up in Arkansas. He's commonly in the Slack channel able to kind of decode some of these EAS tones that are coming through, because they will have those coded for the station or the area they're coming from. So that is a option. He mentions the software in here for the decoders for the same headers that are in there in that alert tone that you're hearing. So a lot of different stuff that you can use these EAS tests for to help you with AMDX. Obviously, you can also do it on FMDX because FM stations do it too. Like during E-skip or something like that. During the summertime, if you're getting E-skip and you're hearing some EAS alerts, I would definitely make sure you're looking at the severe page here to see if it coincides with like a flash flood warning or a severe thunderstorm warning or something, because that happens a lot in the summertime, obviously. But it's a little more helpful for AMDX because you're going to have those stations kind of weak down towards the noise floor, that those tones are going to cut through, those screeches are going to cut through much more easily than anything else. And so if you hear that kind of down in the noise floor, there are times where myself and others who are in the chat right now have been able to do some detective work and figure out that station that was doing that EAS test was so-and-so, and we're able to add a new station to our logbook. So they can be kind of as good as a DX test in some ways. So there you go. Those three websites you make sure you want to bookmark. I think Kyle mentioned that not all of the fired alerts will go all onto this cat page here. But definitely I would make sure you're looking at this, looking for those scheduled events coming up for the monthly tests. Again, knowing that not every state will kind of have a schedule. Like Wyoming usually just kind of does whatever they feel like, apparently, is what I've been told. This is January's test schedule coming up. So you'll see some of them have a pattern where they kind of do it around the same time every month. For instance, let me see, where is Louisiana next month? Right now, so this is the 13th they're doing this month. I don't see them for next. Oh, there we are, 27th next month. Some of them don't have a pattern. Some of them are just kind of more random. So bookmark those sites, take a look at them, and then you can hopefully use those with other sources to grab a target list and then go do some recordings and then go hunt for stations in specific states you might be looking for. Who knows? Maybe you might be able to get some that way. Better than not trying at all. Speaking of DX tests, we do have a DX test coming up, and it's really awesome, but it's also not awesome at the same time. It's awesome for DXers because A, it's a state that, with a couple of exceptions from some of our folks who are either in Maine or up in the Northeast, like John in Delaware and people like that who get Maine on a regular basis, or some of those maybe in the Midwest who have access to Maine on a semi-annual basis or whatever it might be. The rest of us, Maine is exotic DX. It might as well be Alaska for all I'm concerned. But when you get these DX tests where you have like the tone sweeps and the code and things like that going in, those can stand out really, really, really easily and help you get a station you might not normally be able to hear. I was actually just thinking about this last night when I was kind of looking at my plans for this DX test we're about to read off about. And I remembered that I heard Montana from Charleston during a DX test. Didn't think I had any business hearing Montana from Charleston, but there they were. This DX test is for 620 WZON in Bangor, Maine. And this is going to be going down next week. Okay. They're going off the air at the end of the year. And so the test itself is scheduled for late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, depending on what time zone you're in. Okay. It's going to fire at 1 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday morning, the 22nd of December. So that's, for me, here in the Central time zone, that's midnight, Saturday night, Sunday morning. We're going on air here at DX Central Live Saturday night at 11 o'clock Central Time. That's midnight Eastern, 10 o'clock Mountain, 9 o'clock Pacific, okay? We're going to be going live Saturday night, an hour before the DX test starts. We're going to play our usual video that we play, the video that we have here on our YouTube channel about DX tests and what to listen for and the different tones and sweeps and what they're called and that kind of stuff. And then we'll live stream as long as they're doing the DX test. We don't have a confirmation yet on duration, so we don't know how long it's going to last, but we're going to be here until we hear that it's done. And so if we hear it, we hear it. If we don't, we don't. But we're going to give it a shot. And we've got our northeast KAZ at 35 degrees, pointing pretty close. It's within about 8 to 10 degrees of WZON for the center line here from Mandeville. And hopefully we'll hear them. And so we are going to get some tones. The CPC is actually providing the station with the usual assortment of code and tones and sweeps and things like that. So all the stuff that we know cuts through the static really, really well, they're going to have at their disposal to use. And so once we find out some durations and things like that, obviously we'll be confirming that and getting that announced out on social media and some of the usual channels like the IRCA, Email Reflector, and places like that. But definitely something, if you don't have Maine in your logbook and you thought that Maine was like, that's not going to happen. Well, it might. Maine is definitely within shot for a lot more people now than it probably would have been otherwise if the DX test had not been going in. So there you go. 620. 620 is the frequency. Saturday night, the 21st, morning of the 22nd. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So join us here on DX Central Live at 11 o'clock Central Time. And that, by the way, is what, 0500 UTC for those who would like to have a nice even number to kind of work with. 0500 UTC on Sunday morning. Join us here on DX Central Live. The whole thing goes down to 0600 UTC. That's when the test begins. So we're going to be listening for Maine from here in Mandeville. Hopefully we can get them. That'd be nice if we could. All right, let's get to some shout outs, my friends. Yes!
Hear the call for every single big or small, from AM to FM to C to C. We celebrate the ones who snag the IT. Shout out loud, let it be known, you're never DXing all alone. Through the static we found our way. Shout outs making waves today.
All right. Let's see what you all are hearing on the bands. This is for AM, FM, weather, DX, whatever you DX. We just want to know what you're hearing. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be AM. It can be FM as well, weather, DX, ham radio if you got it. Let us know what you're hearing, and we'd love to give you a shout out, a little virtual high five. And we're going to start off with our friend Kyle up in Washington. Goes by the name DX Sphere in the chat. Has a really just bad A website with his logbook up there, which we're going to talk about here in a second. I mean, just an amazing website. One of the coolest websites for DX I've ever seen, actually. New log region for Kyle, CKBZ 100.1 in Kelowna. Hope I said that right. British Columbia with RDSD code. Last night via meteor scatter SDR play RSP1A using a Stellar Labs 4-element directional on a 9-foot pole and pointing northeast. See, it doesn't take much. 4-element Yagi. And those are like, what, $50, $60? Sitting on a 9-foot pole, pointing northeast. And if I remember right, the Stellar Lab is one that you can tilt because I've been told, I don't know this for sure, I haven't tried it out. I've been told that if you can tilt those antennas about 45 degrees, that actually helps with your reception of meteor scatter if you have a Yagi. He said, I also launched 2 interactive DX pages, one for my physical logs and one for my remote SDR logs. And I'm going to put these in the chat because you guys got to check this out. This is so, so cool. The first one I'm going to put in here is the website for his own receivers. Here it is. Boop. That's his for his own receivers. And this is his online SDR logbook as well. You got to check it out because it is so cool, man. He's put a lot of work into it too. And you can go in there and like see everything on the map, and you can kind of filter it and get at the detail. I mean, it's the coolest online logbook I've ever seen. It really is. It's so, so cool. So do yourself a favor, go check out those 2 links and check out the work that Kyle's put into these things because they are fantastic logbooks. If it was a program that I could buy that would give me that website and I could just click a couple buttons and there it goes, because I have no coding experience. I have no idea what I'm doing with that stuff. But if I could buy that in a box, slap my name on there and say, these are my logs, you better believe I'd do it. So well done on the log there. We get you a saw here, Mr. Kyle. There you go. Well done, my friend. And again, beautiful, beautiful websites. Our friend Mexico Mike J checking in here. Some nice new logs this week, including Arkansas Rocks, KZTS on 1380 in North Little Rock, 1390 WNLA in Indianola. You can keep them. Mississippi, and unexpected YSJU La Union in El Salvador on 1390. Plus 5 New Mexicans, most notably 730 XEPET in Yucatan, La Voz de las Mayas, which is one of the indigenous stations down there, which is, they are so great to listen to. I've got to get that one. That's one I have not yet done. And Yucatan is a new Mexican state for me, and it's the last one that he needed. That's 32 for 32. So we're doing an extra special one for our friend Mexico Mike. Mexico Mike J, 32 out of 32 Mexican states now in his logbook. Unbelievable. And for it to come from an indigenous station there on 730, which, by the way, 730 is not an easy task to get through when you've got XEX in Mexico City right in his, backyard, basically. Still to get this station here on Yucatan, that's pretty amazing. Plus the El Salvador. So we're going to also hit him with this guy. And he got some logs, so we're going to saw some logs for him here too. All right. Well done, my friend. Love that. You've definitely given me a goal to shoot for. I think I've got 8 left. 8 Mexican states left. And what's left is not going to be easy. So, our friend Stephanie checking in here with some awesome logs from the desert. It's been a fun week. New AM logs from this week's Challenge 1380 KTKZ, The Answer in Sacramento. You heard that. At 427 miles. 1390 KLOC. Or Radio Católica, Turlock, California, 5 kilowatts, 356 miles. That makes 150 stations logged from California, from the Radio Hacienda. Raise the height of the Winegard HD 6010 omnidirectional to about 30 feet from the ground with immediate results from the low desert. Got some stations here at 1055 WZBN in Georgia, 1,800 miles. Very nice. 90.1 WVCS Owen, Wisconsin, 1,577 miles. Elmwood, Illinois is 97.3 at 1,500 miles. And those are some new logs and some new states. So we're doing the fireworks. And the logs. There you go. Stephanie crushing it from the desert. Well done, my friend. Well done. Isn't FM fun? We're going to do some of that tonight, by the way. We're going to look at some meteor scatter. I got a, let's see if I still have the screenshot. This is a screenshot of a 1 minute long meteor scatter burst that showed up on one of the recordings we're going to review tonight. This was, I think, Wednesday morning, right before 11 o'clock a.m. That's all meteor scatter. All these little bursts right here, all this, it's about a minute long. All that is meteor scatter, man. I have no idea what's waiting for us there. I haven't listened to it yet. I just went through the recording and saw what was where the pings were and wrote down the time. And we've got more than 52 pings to listen through if we want to tonight and the next hour. It's going to be awesome. All right, Carl DeWitt in Tennessee. You step up, my friend. 6 new logs, 3 of those in the challenge frequency. Station totals are now at 912 on 1380 WKDM New York and number the 1390 WNIO in Youngstown, Ohio. WBHV, State College, Pennsylvania, and 1590 WTVB, Coldwater, Michigan. 1480 WYZE, Atlanta, and on 1440 WCOC, is that COC? I think so, CDC maybe, Carbondale, Pennsylvania on 1440. So, my friend, Carl gets himself a whole bunch of log song going on here, because that is some fun. And let's do one more shout out here. Well done, Carl, my friend. Let's do one more shout out, and then we'll get to the rest here after the top of the hour. We got a couple more here. The next hour we'll get to those, and we'll do ours as well, because we had ourselves another week on the AM side, my friends. It was last night, especially. If you were in the Slack channel last night with me while we were DXing, I was just including 2 that I did not think I would hear. Super, super cool. Jeff, our friend Notorious BOG, checks in with a shout out because he got himself a new skill learned. And hey, we shout out those 2. We celebrate those. We learn a new skill. We get some new gear. That's just as good as a new station. That's just as good as a new country, right? Because we're expanding our knowledge. We're growing as DXers. We're getting more adept at our skill set, in our trade, I guess. Have Linrad now running on his RSPDX R2. The learning curve is equivalent to climbing Mount Everest blindfolded. I don't have a skill video to show. I guess I can do this, a milestone, and there you've done it, man. You taught yourself, and you're teaching yourself, Linrad. That's something we're actually going to be looking at here on DX Central. Let's give you another one of those. Is I'm working with, some of you guys know Rick down in Florida, Rick Knuth. We're going to be looking at doing a tutorial, kind of a basic tutorial on Linrad here pretty soon. And what that is, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a way to do phasing, like kind of diversity mode phasing type stuff off of one antenna, or more. You can have it off of more antennas. You can do off of 2 antennas. You have to have 2 recordings for it. But basically, you're doing phasing without a phaser. It's all software phasing. It's pretty cool, I'm told. I have not done it. I'm told it is pretty cool though, and but as Jeff said, I have heard the learning curve is pretty steep. So some stuff to learn, some ways to stretch ourselves and learn some stuff that's going to be on the deck here. Hopefully we can get to that here pretty soon if things calm down on the day job. But apparently this Linrad stuff is the bee's knees, and so if it's the bee's knees, I gotta play along because I like bee's knees. All right. I don't know why I'm such a dork. We're gonna do some more live DX here in a little bit. We're also gonna announce our final frequency range of this season of the Medium Wave Frequency Challenge. I don't want you to think the challenges are done, because they're not. It's just our last defined frequency range. Starting next week, we're going to be announcing a whole new set of challenges. We're going to do them one at a time. I'm not going to announce all of them at once. We're going to do them one at a time like we do now, but they're going to be a theme-based challenge. So no longer are we restricting our DX to certain frequencies. We're opening up the entire AM band at your disposal, but we're going to be targeting certain things about the AM band, certain unique little aspects about the AM band we're going to be looking for in our challenges to make it extra spicy. Because you know how we are here in Louisiana, we like our spice. And that's what we're going to be doing, make it a little extra spicy with our challenges for the second half of the season. So here in a little bit, we're going to be announcing our last frequency range. And this will be the last frequencies that we haven't gotten to yet in the last couple of years. And so stay tuned for that. We talked about WZON. We talked about the Airspy. I haven't talked about the Airspy yet, actually. We'll do that here in the next hour. We talked about the EAS tests. We got to some shout outs, and we are going to, in the next hour, be talking extensively about the Geminids meteor shower and meteor scatter. There's still time. Okay. The peak was last night and today. The last 24 hours or so has been the peak of this meteor shower, but please don't think it's over. If you want to get out in the FM fun with some meteor scatter, you still have a chance to do that this week. So we're going to be talking in the next hour about what you need to do to get involved and have some fun on some meteor scatter. And we're going to do some live recording review of some meteor scatter bursts that we recorded. You saw the screenshot earlier, but we're going to be going through those and actually seeing if we got anything. I can tell you this morning on my RDS decoder built into SDR Console, kind of leave that kind of just running. I heard 4 stations, one of those new, 89.5 WMOT in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, WCTQ in Venice, Florida, WPTI Eden, North Carolina. Those are all relogs. And then WETS in Johnson City, Tennessee, 620 miles. That was an RDS decode that occurred this morning randomly. I just left SDR Console up and running and had several receivers open on the frequencies, point my antenna northeast and just kind of let the Yagi roll. And that's a smattering of what came in this morning. So who knows what's waiting for us on our recordings. All right. Let's go to... Yeah, you guys are talking about Jaguar. Yes, we are up on that 10.4 here in the shack. And we'll actually show you that to you right now. Let's do some live DX. This one's brought to you by IRCA, International Radio Club of America. IRCA Online. Go to the website and get yourself some deets on how to become a member today. Because it is super, super cost effective and it is super, super fun. So this is the Jaguar software we're running here on our Perseus SDR. We are running version 10.4. It's pretty cool. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Jaguar for a couple of different reasons. I've talked about those pretty extensively. The DVR function down here being the primary one. I mean, that is just so freaking cool. Yeah, we're going to do some DX here on our new frequencies that we're about to announce right now for our last frequency range. You guys ready for this? Let's go ahead and take a look. Actually, let me go back to here. And then we're going to do here, and then we're going to put this right here. All right, 1250, 1260. Those are our frequencies for our final frequency range of the season. And we are now set up here to DX those here. We got a local on semi-local on 1260 over in Baton Rouge. Carl, if you're in the chat, if you're still watching, that's the one I was talking about last night. The great blue station down here in Louisiana on our challenge frequency, KBRH in Baton Rouge. Man, let me tell you, it's run by it's at a high school, and they play some scorching great blues music at this radio station. I've tried reaching out to him about a DX test, but being that it's a high school, it's kind of difficult for him to kind of coordinate that. But yeah, KBRH is one of the stations you guys can listen for this week, and hopefully we'll be tossing out some gumbo as a result of this frequency range. Oh, Rick, it's season 4 of the challenge, but season 5 of the live stream. It's confusing, I know, but season 4 is the challenge. We've only done 4 seasons of challenge, 5 seasons of live streaming. That's the difference. All right, let's take a look. Stephanie mentions wanting to know here on Jaguar how to know what version you're running. I got you covered. If you come down here, and I think it is, yeah, if you come down here to the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see next to the little folder icon that you use to open up your recorded files, there's a little question mark. If you hit the info box, you'll see up here, it'll give you the version. And this is version 10 final, which is 10.4. That's the last version. Build is December 4th. So I think, you might have like 10.3 or 10.2 or 10.1 or whatever if you're running a 10 version 10 or, obviously whatever you have before that. So there you go. That's how you find that. Alrighty, let's take a gander here at our 2 challenge frequencies, and we're going to be recording these here on the Perseus here, especially for the top of the hour. But we're also going to be doing some live DX up on our Kiwi SDR, which I'll go ahead and flip that here so you guys can see the Kiwi. And let's go ahead and take this over to 1260, and we're going to try it out first on our West SuperLoop so we can see if we do hear KBRH. Be safe, Kyle. Good luck. Rick, yes, 1250 WTMA is still there. I heard them recently.
Do they still have Peanuts or Snoopy shows, cartoons, Mr. Producer?
We've got a station running Mr. Levine.
Do they still have the old ones? Do your kids watch? Yeah.
Here on the West SuperLoop.
So bad.
Let's change over to our Northeast KAZ.
Fresh and wholesome, Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Life, Liberty, and Levin, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hello, set your DVR, your smart TV. Hopefully you'll watch this live, but also... Back
to the West SuperLoop.
General Jack Keane.
Was able to get my vactrols back up and running on the both antennas, actually, on the KAZ and on the front yard SuperLoop.
Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place.
1250 here. Let's take a gander and see what 1250 has for us. This is on the West SuperLoop. Northeast KAZ. So crazy how different those are, too. Yeah, let's go back to the West SuperLoop here. It wasn't too long ago I heard to be TMA. Because it used to be one of my locals, right? Go back to 1260. Oh, there's Levine running America the Beautiful, the Ray Charles version. Yeah, seriously, look how wide open 1250 is. I mean, that's just big old bunch of not much. That Utah station is running 129 watts at night. Wait a minute. Here we are on 1260 now. These maps are another part of why Jaguar is such a great way to DX AM. Again, if you don't have a Perseus, I mean, I can't tell you to spend Perseus money just so you can use one piece of software for AMDX, but that Jaguar is so great. If you already have a Perseus, I would absolutely say go ahead and get your Jaguar software. There's no reason not to.
DX Central Live top of the hour alert.
Here we go, 263 degrees nearly west on the SuperLoop. We start off on the Perseus here, top of the hour. Actually, we're listening on the Kiwi right now. And then we're going to swap back to our northeast KAZ. That's KSGF in Springfield at just ID with the 1041. Is that relevant with the religious? Which would probably be WSDZ there in Belleville. If that's relevant. If anybody up in that neck of the woods has got them.
Encourage people to break those commandments. It's not merciful just to lie to someone and to tell them, oh, it's all right, that poison isn't so bad, don't worry about it.
Father Simon says, 1 p.m. Central on Relevant Radio and the Relevant Radio.
Always loud and clear on your smart speaker.
Bringing Christ to the world through the media.
WSDZ Belleville, K236CS St. Louis.
Relevant Radio.
1260 AM, 95.1 FM. Now 8 o'clock.
A very grand Relevant Radio news brought to you by Holiday Mutual Fund. Information at 1-866-OPTION. Biden administration is accused of selling
program this week on the Hill with Tony Perkins.
Now we're looking west, SuperLoop.
National Security Advisor John Bolton says Israel's role in this situation has really been a game changer in the region.
The effect is really attributable largely to Israel's resolute determination
Here's how they...
Let's go back down to 1250. There you go, Haley. That would probably be Belleville. The relevant radio is probably Belleville. I'm also going to pop over here really quick. Let's take a look on our shortwave central Kiwi that we have here with our north-ish KAZ at 330 degrees. Let's go to 1250 and see what we have here. And then 1260, I'm assuming this is Missouri.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here to help the listeners. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma should give us a call right now and find out if you qualify for a cash settlement. Call 800.
This is point right, almost right at Missouri. That 330 degree KAZ.
Lung cancer or mesothelioma, call right now to find out if you qualify for cash compensation. 800-818-0200.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Health Center. May not be available in all states.
SpaceX is launching a new mission. Billionaire Elon Musk's company wants to make its Starbase site a new Texas city and has sent a letter to local officials requesting an election to turn what it calls Starbase into an incorporated city. Starbase is the South Texas site where SpaceX builds and launches its massive Starship rockets. The area is on the southern tip of Texas at Boca Chica Beach near the Mexican border. The county's top executive has confirmed they received the proposal and said the county will inspect the petition for statutory compliance before putting it to a vote. John Scott reports.
A 7-year-old dispute between Musk and Sam Altman over who should run OpenAI and best avoid an artificial intelligence dictatorship is now heading to a federal judge as Musk seeks to halt the ChatGPT maker's ongoing conversion into a for-profit company. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. Judges in The Hague have rejected a request to stop...
That might have been Elgin in there. There was a Spanish station IDing. That might have been Elgin.
The government was responsible for such policy decisions, and the court must review them with restraint. They found there were already measures in place to ensure the Netherlands wasn't violating international law. The Dutch government has indicated that it is unlikely licenses will be issued for weapons which can contribute to the activities of Israel in Gaza or on the West Bank. And the court noted the need to distinguish between military hardware that could be used...
All right, so far no Baton Rouge, no Red Stick. Let's take it over here to the Perseus, and let's just see what we captured at the top of the hour. I know on 1260 what we would have gotten.
Relevant radio. 1260 AM to 95.1 FM. Now 8 o'clock.
So just what we had there, Belleville, WSDZ, KSGF, Springfield, Missouri. Let's look at 1250 and see what we caught. This would have been looking northeast. Look at, I mean, just look at all these stations right here on 1250. Right here in Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Iowa, Minnesota. It's all just, and then Spread out, boys. Look at that. Just nothing. Nothing anywhere really in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota, Colorado, New Mexico, northern Texas, other than right here on the Oklahoma border right there at Paris. But I mean, just that one station right there in Utah is the only thing keeping this entire area from having nada. I mean, that's a lot of space. It seems like, especially when there's so much congestion right here in the middle part of the country. Let's see what we call here at 1250 though. Looks like they should be, Rick. Manitoba. Now, I may be wrong, but that the station that's in their IDing is super, super weak. But it sounds like the imaging from like the Answer network, the Answer stations, right? And I'm looking here on my list, my station list. I only see one, and it's Virginia. Oh, nope. There's Pennsylvania too. And they're 5K, so they're probably if it's the Answer, that's probably who it would be. And then we've also got the station in Virginia, but they should be on night power 125 watts. Let's listen to this top of the hour again, and you guys see what you think. I'm gonna see if I can throw in upper sideband, see if they're any stronger in upper sideband. If not, I'll go back to lower. The lower. So the target call letters here would be WRCW in Warrenton, Virginia. Let me pull up my Tim Tromp list here. And for those of you who are not familiar with what I'm talking about when I say Tim Tromp's list, this is Tim Tromp's list. If you're not using it, I mean, I've got the station list here in Perseus, and I still use his website every night. It stays open all the time. So the options would be, actually, I'm on the wrong one. 1250 is what I was trying to look for here. 1250. The PGP Pittsburgh is a 5 kilowatter. They have a 92.5 FM that they parallel, W223CS. Okay, so here's some things we're listening for to see if it's them. 92.5, W223CS, WPGP. We hear any of those? That's Pittsburgh. If it's Virginia, which I'm not saying it's probably not, but we did hear Virginia here last night a couple times. So this Northeast KAZ loves that direction. If it's Virginia, it'd be WRCW. They parallel WWRC 570. Okay. So no, I don't see an FM listed here for that one. So let's go back now and listen to our top of the hour. I mean, I think I heard the answer, but I didn't hear an ID in that. Wait. I think I heard Pittsburgh. And then it did go to SRN. I'm gonna have to spend some more time with that one. Gonna have to spend some more time with that one, fellas and ladies. I think I went to the SRN. I'm pretty sure I heard the answer, and I think I heard Pittsburgh, but I didn't hear it clear enough for me to be able to say, yep, that's Pittsburgh. So we're going to come back to that. David up in Maine mentioned, should we be starting our Louisiana EAS recordings? Let's go ahead and fire them up. I'm going to hit record and let this sucker run here on the... I'm on my northeast. Let's go. Let's do west. Let's do west, because everything in Louisiana is really west of me. I'm on the west SuperLoop here. So everything in Louisiana is pretty much west of me for the most part, except for my locals that are to my south. This antenna should get them better. So now we're on the west SuperLoop here on the Perseus. So yes, we're going to come back here around probably 5 till the 8:30 and see if we can get those guys in here. So we're going to go ahead and hit the record, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, but let's do a quick scan of some of the frequencies that I will be checking for you guys. If you have a request for a particular Louisiana station you want me to check for, then hit me in the chat with that one. Obviously, we're going to look for 1260 for Baton Rouge, for Red Stick. 1280 WODT here in New Orleans will be another one that we'll check for those of you who need them. 1350 here in New Orleans is WWWL. We'll be listening for them. Okay. We'll be also checking for, obviously, WWL. I don't think people really need any help hearing WWL, but if you're out west or something and you want to try for him and you haven't heard him yet and you want to see if I can line up that EAS test for you, more than happy to do that. 940 WYLD will be another one that we check. 800 WSHO, 600 WVOG, 990 WGSO. These will all be stations that we're looking for here at around 8:30 or about 28 minutes, right? Yeah, 18 minutes, sorry. I can't math tonight. 18 minutes from now, we'll be looking for those stations here. It might be closer to about 45 after that some of those fire, as I typically see, but we'll start checking around for those. Again, if you've got a Louisiana station that you would like for us to do and look for here for the EAS test, then please do let us know. All right, Rick, let me go here and fire that 1250 top of the hour one more time here for us. I hear it too. I hear the 223. Yeah, I think I heard the Pittsburgh on that too. I'm pretty sure that's who that is. I heard the 223 Pittsburgh. One more time. Right there. Yeah, I think that's them. I'm pretty sure that's them. Woo! Nice. I feel much better about that one being WPGP now, which would be a new one for us. So we don't get many Pennsylvania stations up here, but that Northeast KAZ is crushing it. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do a little bit of meteor scatter, and then we're going to do also at the same time some looking for Louisiana EAS. So don't go anywhere, my friends. More DX Central Live is coming your way right after this brief message.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From long wave to satellites, medium wave through HF, ham radio to scanners. If you can DX it, the Spectrum Monitor has you covered. Editor and publisher Ken Reitz has assembled a who's who of radio writers to share their knowledge and expertise from a wide range of DX-related topics. Each month, the Spectrum Monitor's columnists dive into their specialties to give readers tips, tricks, the latest news and station updates, and more. The Spectrum Monitor also provides a monthly assortment of feature articles that give in-depth insight into the past, present, and future of DXing. You can get a full year of the Spectrum Monitor for only $24. Individual issues from the current year are available for $3 each. You can also purchase previous years of the Spectrum Monitor in their entirety for as low as $12. For more information, visit thespectrummonitor.com. That's thespectrummonitor.com. For more than 90 years, the National Radio Club has been at the forefront of providing DXers with the latest in station news, DX-related technical information, and reception reports from DXers around the world. The NRC's AM radio log, now in its 45th edition, is the most expansive and detailed resource of station information for U.S. and Canadian radio stations that is available in any format. The club's publication, the DX News, is available in both print and electronic format and provides the latest information on call letter and format changes, construction permits, and other information to help keep DXers informed of the latest updates they may hear on the air. For more information, visit their website at nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org. With a lifetime membership, the International Radio Club of America gives DXers incredible value by putting important station information right at your fingertips. The club's e-publication, the DX Monitor, includes DXer loggings, station information updates, international loggings, and more. Other club publications include the IRCA Mexican Log, a must-have resource for any DXer that chases stations from Mexico, the TIS HAR list, the IRCA slogan list, sunset sunrise maps, and DXer technical guides. The joint IRCA-NRC email reflector and groups.io group is a hub for real-time DX conditions, station news, and DX-related conversation. For more information, visit ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
This man told me to tell you to watch DX Central Live with Lloyd Van Horn every Friday night. Is my Diet Coke in there?
Signals in the static light, chasing sounds through the night, tuning into stranger ways. DXer in a late night craze, AM station calling out, in a state I've got no doubt, from a place I've never known. Time to repair my own. Gotta stay up late, gotta catch that wave, gotta stay up late. DX test we crave. Eyes wide open, flicker
From the DX Central North Shore Studios, this is DXC Live. Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
far away will make amends.
It's DX Central Live from the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville. I don't know why I just did that. Mandeville, Louisiana. And we bring you DX every Friday night here at starting at 0045 UTC. Right now, we're going to break into some AM or some FM DX rather really quick for our friend Jacob up in Minnesota. We can check. We'll check and see. He was looking for 640 KTIB down here in Thibodaux. I haven't heard them in a while. I haven't checked in a while though. So we'll check here at the EAS test time. We are recording on the Perseus So we're going to be able to go back in. So you should all be recording. If you're looking for Louisiana stations, drop those in the chat. Let me know what station you would like to shoot for here in Louisiana, and use the EAS test as your beacon. And we'll be looking for those frequencies here and reviewing the recording here we'll start about 5 minutes till the test is going to start. It's about 5 minutes from now. So I'm not going to be able to get to this full list. This is all my list of all the pings that I recorded down that we had. 52 in all, and there's a whole lot more than that because one of these recordings I had to stop. So there's more than 52 pings here that I'm going to be reviewing over the next couple of days, but I want to get to at least a couple of these, definitely at least one. This is from Wednesday morning, right before 11 o'clock. So let's do this here real quick. FMDX brought to you by Spectrum Monitor. Spectrum Monitor magazine is at thespectrummonitor.com. And you can get your subscriptions. You can also get a individual copy, whatever works best for you. Why not have the bottom screen here? Well, there we go. Let's do this FMDX. Looking here for this meteor scatter ping. So I was using the data file analyzer. You guys know that's what I usually use for meteor scatter. If you've been with us for previous sessions that we did. When I did the data file analyzer, I didn't save this particular hour. So I have to do this the old school way. But I do know the time frame that we're looking at here. It's right before 58 or so. So let me just go ahead and fast forward here. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff show up on the waterfall here pretty quickly. Right around 10:58. So let's go ahead and hit it right about here. And we'll hit the audio here in a second once we pull this up. I don't want to hit anything that's going to get me a copyright slap on the hand. And so let's just watch this on the waterfall as it comes up, and you can see, because right now you see these big areas of dark nothing, right? Watch very closely over the next several seconds here as these start to fill in. And that is meteor scatter. All right. Should be coming up here in just a bit. I don't remember exactly where here at 58 it showed up. I hope it's meteor scatter. I hope it's not troposcatter. If it's troposcatter, I'm going to be disappointed. There was one little thing right there that I think might have been troposcatter, because it was pretty individualized to that one frequency. Here we go, though. Now we're starting to see stuff. See all this starting to populate in here now across all these different frequencies? This could be troposcatter or airplane balance or something like that, but I kind of doubt it because it's pretty wide across several frequencies. So, and actually I think it might have even came in a bit further out than that. Let me check here. Yeah, there's a couple more little pings up in here too. So let's start with right about, man, I wish I had my data file. All right, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start unmute, and we're going to go right here at 103.1.
From Republican members has something, and it does look that he is going.
Okay, that's to be OSM. This might be troposcatter that we're looking at here. Yeah, this might be troposcatter. Or some airplane bounce, maybe, because I'm seeing some Doppler effect in some of these traces.
To still be playing some of the most legendary songs.
Did I see anything else pop up here? I don't think so. Yeah, that's the end of that one. All right, let me go ahead and pull up. I was hopeful that was going to be meteor scatter, but it looks like it's not. Let's go ahead and pull, though, one of our files. We're going to pull the one from 5:55. Let's do Wednesday morning. Well, actually, no, let's do Thursday. I know this one's packed with a ton of stuff. Absolute ton. All of this down here at the bottom. This is all the file that I just pulled up. All these timestamps. So let's take a look here and see. Starting with right at 5:55. Here at the bottom of the file, we had a little burst right here. So let's take a gander here at 104.1.
Celebrity Chef. The Healthcare Connections. Join us on December 14th from 11.
Here we go. I'm gonna pop 104.3. Nothing there yet. No. Let's go to 6:02. There was a little burst at 6:02 right here.
And good morning, it's the Morning 5, Jenny Matthews. And good morning, it's the Morning 5, Jenny Matthews. And good morning, it's the Morning 5, Jenny Matthews. And good morning, it's the Morning 5, Jenny Matthews. Good morning, it's the Morning 5, Jenny Matthews. And good morning, it's the Morning 5, Jenny Matthews.
What I'm trying to do here is to get that RDS to trip in. All right, we're about 3 minutes here. I'm going to pause. We'll come back to this a little bit later on. We're going to pause it now, though, because we are coming up here on this EAS test here in Louisiana. So I'm going to pause this for a moment. And, all right, let me double check and see. What did you guys say? No, it's 640 KTIB. We're looking for you, Jacob. And Kyle, we're going to be coming back to the FM here in a few. All right, let's take a look. Okay, if you guys have any Louisiana stations you want me to find for you and listen for this EAS alert, let me know. But we're going to start at big ones here in New Orleans.
Trump is promising to declare a national emergency.
Actually,
Military to carry out Republicans break the move during the Capitol Hill hearing. Senator John Cornyn of Texas says they are
we've got Mexico coming in here.
Todas merecemos descansar en la noche, incluso durante nuestro periodo. Prueba tú también la mejor protección de la nueva naturaleza.
Let me dump my... Oops.
We need your help to protect
I'm dumping the vactrol.
AM radio in your car.
So now we should have a much wider look at Louisiana stations here.
The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. Please text the two letters
580, 1310, 1320, and 1330. Got you, bud. Let's start with 580.
now. Text AM to 52.
Little power line noise tonight. Yeah, they're not on the air anymore, Jacob. Illinois. KJMJ is gonna be tough. KMBS 1310. That's one I think I need. I don't have them.
Himself, he puts everyone away. And who is the Jets offensive coordinator? Haskins.
4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. 3 men filed lawsuits accusing Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault, alleging he drugged and assaulted them between 2019 and 2022. January 6th committee chair Benny Thompson says it's up to President Biden to decide on preemptive pardons to protect him and others from President-elect Trump. Thompson, who is black, called Trump's suggestion to jail him unbelievable and criticized the rhetoric. Reports suggest Biden...
I know one of them's not. I know L&O is not. I haven't heard them in 2 years.
The NYPD says the suspect, Luigi Mangione, in the United Healthcare CEO's murder likely targeted him due to...
And that's a shame. Back when they were WNOE, they were a powerhouse.
And volunteers are cleaning up a historic black cemetery, Cedar Grove Cemetery in Charlotte, North Carolina, where over 400 people, including 20 veterans, are buried. A Wreaths Across America ceremony will honor the veterans this weekend. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Checking 1350.
I'm Vanessa Tyler.
And I'm
15th in the net right now. I think this is an upset. I think Arizona wins this game outright. It's 3.5-point dogs.
Checking 870. They usually go a little later, though.
The football away, and I'm going to go back to it. Franklinton's run 25 plays already. Franklinton's on pace to run 100 plays.
That should be an illegal substitution on
the VOG.
But no call.
Yeah, they're weak. That's got to be Progresso, right?
And the consultants speak and hold
More gear to Western-inspired fashion.
Yeah, that's Progresso. Let's do 800.
Because he began by saying, repent, the kingdom of heaven.
Run from...
I'm just checking to make sure I haven't missed it.
Introduction. Actually, stadium. We said dispensation. Matthew, wise men by John, have a kingdom with, and
You know, was music by John Lee. Hoping the...
Stay close to any mile right here is 800 WSHO New Orleans.
in the sense that it's
not yet. I don't see it's fired yet.
In the future, when you
KBRH just sent.
Was postponed.
Let's go back and see if we got that.
That it's delayed and
we don't have anybody KDEI. We don't have anybody in Louisiana, but Port Arthur might have fired it because they're right on the line. And they relay Radio Maria out of Alexandria. That might be who that was. They're on 1250. What time was that, Jacob, for KBRH? So those tones that we heard a few minutes ago, that was 1250. I'm assuming that's KDEI out of Port Arthur, Texas. Let me go back and see if I can find that time that was at, so you can check your recordings. Oh, here it is. Tell you when it fires. So at UTC 023139. So that would be 83139. KDEI in Port Arthur, Texas fired the Louisiana EAS test because they are relaying Radio Maria out of Alexandria. So that's probably who that is if you're on 1250 and you have those EAS tones here at 0231. That's who you got. That's them. I mean, they're right on the state line. We'll just stick here to make sure. Okay, so Jacob says 1260 kBRH was right around 31. So let's see if we can grab that. Some of these haven't fired yet, Rick. Some of them don't fire until about 15 minutes late. I mean, Mike, there's no other station in Louisiana. So unless it was someone else running an EAS test at the exact same time, which is possible, but given your location and the timing, I would have liked to have had some, like, Louisiana-specific audio in there, but... 1420 live. APEL. You guys got some clips in here, or some tips in here from our friend Ethan on some of the ones he's hearing up in Arkansas. And some of those he may actually have a better shot at than I do. Believe it or not. Like, I'm not hearing KPEL, and this is on the West SuperLoop. Normally I would hear them pretty well. Oh yeah, let's go 11:30
on this one. It looks like this. So
they would have been
51. That's Philadelphia. Sunday night again. Out in the line. Knee injury.
Fox joins the Odd Couple every Friday at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. It's your money. That's right. It's time to talk. Glad to have you on the show.
There we go. This is KWKH 1130. This is at 023151 UTC.
stations and cable systems of your area. Emergency alert system equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a tornado, flood, evacuation, toxic release, or any emergency that you, the public, should be timely alerted, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This station serves as a vital part of the Louisiana State Emergency Alert System. This concludes this test of the Emergency Alert System.
They don't cover.
There's your full sequence. So it took roughly, 40 seconds from start to finish there for the full sequence to go through for 1130 KWKH, starting at around 31:51, finishing at 32:31. 1320. Got some stuff in here. Let's see, 1320. Let's go live.
It is imperative that we work together and create cross-lines.
On 1320?
Happens here.
What are you chasing on 1320?
Bank of America Corporation,
ANCB?
partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
I don't have them. That's what I was saying. That could be RJW because they're right there in Picayune. And I'm not hearing them. Yeah, WWL should be coming up here in about 3 minutes or so.
By BetMGM.
And usually 1350 would go around the same time as them.
I like freaking third good. Bring back
Or born in Vegas. Car Shield covered. Flyway.com carshield.line.
Your banking.
anything.
09 knows these. Can start 10093.
We're just fast forwarding through this sucker.
Want my son to be
Veterans to benefits you can help out.
Well Pro.
Even smoke and show you smell.
Yeah.
We have the
I would think RJW would, yeah.
Anthem Foundation is the proud
When you look at the advanced metric and error said, they're the most recent. Do too. Like a boatload, and they forward.
I want to say 1350 is going to fire the same time that WWL does,
This game against the Yagi.
which should be coming up here in a few minutes.
Man, I here. Kind of like Texas, but the ball is this. Texas
Let's do, how about this, guys? Where's the be okay? I am shocked. I am shocked that WBOK is nowhere to be found right now on the West SuperLoop. Let's go to 1350.
Brandon working the board.
Should be coming up here in a minute.
You're on BetMGM.
I can't.
Reminder to get a hold of MGM, Davey. I'm torn. You should have gone with said. We salute you, my friend, and thank you for.
All right, we're going to stick here for a minute.
I hate to admit that Army -6 is my play. Bryson Daly is going to run all over the defensive. Davey, they need more Marines on defense. That they do. Probably with like fixed bayonets, to be honest with you. So he's going to go with Army -6. We got another one from Aro Roberta, who said
I'll go down here to WWL.
2 touchdowns to put a sprinkle on 3.
Freeman out there that was supposed to pin that guy.
They're carrying a game. They might delay it.
A little too quick for him, I think.
Shotgun formation. Jacob Crane, 2 receivers to his left. A receiver and a tight end to his right. The snap, 3-step drop, pass over the middle. It's
I can't say for certain, Rick, on that one.
to the 40 before falling. It's Connor McKee, but that's more than enough for the first down. Down to the 41-yard line.
Guys, look, Cecilia's in the Superdome. They've had a great run. I don't know what they're doing on defense. I mean, they had nobody in the middle of the field.
They were 4 deep.
I mean, they had
sent the
out of the shotgun formation. It's kind of a loss of 2. Gun 49 Kane just have down spot. No foul. Didn't like the answer. They just at the 44-yard line.
They might delay this since they're doing a live local high school game.
Ran a lot of yards only to pick up 3 officially. Brought down on the far side by Frankie. Frank, yes, his mama did name him that. He's a sophomore defensive back.
Yeah, I've never heard KNCB. That would be a new one here.
Conversion that Franklin just had. They were able to keep this drive.
There's only like 14 stations in Louisiana. I haven't logged yet. That's one of them.
Have a chance to go by 2 scores. Shotgun formation.
Take care, Master Player.
Screen pass off the play action fake is caught by.
We'll come back to them. Let's go check and see if 1350 fired right on time.
Down at the Cecilia Ford,
and they have this game.
19.5. You know, history tells 19.5.
Just making sure.
So when you look at this, Dad, can I storm the court? Hell yes, you can, son. Run down there and storm the court. If Illinois knocks off Rick Barnes, going to hit all day the Atmosphere Center on a UCLA over
below 500 on UCLA.
This is a death and a boatload of
1350 hasn't fired yet.
The neutral
Purdue here.
45.9.
1280, I think, did though.
Systems.
Yep. Right at okay, 1280 WODT would have been right at 023211. 1240 at night. They're kind of hard, but let me give them a shot. I am shocked that WBOK wasn't in there on 1230 at all. Like I didn't hear them at all. They usually dominate the frequency. I don't know what's going on there. Take care, Carl. KBRH was at 231.43. Not here. That is so weird. I was listening to them last night on the same antenna. Not here. I might have heard a little bit of the tone there. Let me go back. I think I hear the tone. I didn't hear the screech. 70. Go back to live.
To go in the second.
Followed the alert tone release.
There's 870 WWL. All right, West Coast folks. And those who are not in the normal reception area of WWL, here you go.
Play clock. Crane calls for the snap. Gets.
Any of our international folks? 24709 UTC WWL sent EAS. Hear the Cuban wobble underneath?
Stations and cable systems of your area. Emergency alert system equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a tornado, flood, evacuation, toxic release, or any emergency that you, the public, should be timely alerted, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This station serves as a vital part of the Louisiana State Emergency Alert System. This
Check 990.
To the Emergency Alert System.
The fact that we're talking. Okay, the first real news. That was nuts. Axios. Now, you piece of pass hunter, or if him back works for the venture capital firm Sequoia Capital, says that Hunter Biden owes him $300,000.
Yeah, it wasn't here.
Rent. He back. LouisLockTotal.com. Hey, this is a drug test. If you catch bad ingredients, what I had to say, Don 90 days. Whether you want to. Okay, first of all, he's egregious. And you know know they're not going to stop there, so why not just go ahead
Look here, Stephanie.
Why not just demand a $100 an hour
Let me go back to 1350. You said they fired right at 2:30 UTC? I didn't hear it.
By BetMGM.
So when you look at 52% of Illinois shots are coming from the arc. I think they're the better shooting team. Oh, and by the way, they're the better defensive team statistically. Volunteers. Robbie Hubble's on the call. We've been talking to him all day. So I think Texas, when you look at the advanced match, but, you know, you can. Rick Barnes, I'm going to go down and 1,000 G gets the 3.5. So, yeah, I like Arizona the first time in 14.
I don't have it here, Ethan.
Right now against to the season. This is a desperate losses. Also lost nation as a rebounding team. Well, UCLA, a very good defensive team, 15 EFG.
230, 132.
Look at Arizona, 143 EFG offense.
I don't have it.
2 EFG defense. Very good rebounding. Best defensive team. Most turnovers. Let's go to Texas. Boiler in April. Efficiency, and I like in this one. This is tough. Close to pick right here. I'm going to leave. They're put the ball through there. 30% from 31 outside of it.
I don't have anything on 1350 here.
Second chance. They make, consistent percent from Purdue is 46. Dude, they've been shot so many.
Let me go back to.
So I think Texas A&M sneaky good, and I know
only CPR.
James, and I call you shut the 17% of the expand season is seen it. Props. My favorite. My decade. I'm a huge teams run on 30. My they will have. Yeah, I like the 7th outline. Finish them. Other South Dakota half. The other 9. Yeah. The last one 3. And went over 3. We're lining that was a college basketball anyway. At spring game. Day.
I don't have them at all. Let me check back here at
the season. Obviously, I can. So I think Texas A&M. Are putting in that. They beat. I like this. And Tom has the number 2. All right.
Sports got your back with frequent view.
Protect you.
I already checked this sequence.
Thousands in wage guard. 109. Diversify.
Serving it.
My first contact.
So much
Stress away.
you could.
1-800.
We have the power.
Yeah, nothing on 1350 yet.
Yeah, I totally agreed. Evan Ingram is done for the year. Play is practically for 3 wins. For your 46 wins and same number, same script, something to report.
I got nothing, man. Let's see. Yeah. I wish I had a broader view I could use here to look for it. Let's see. I know we're coming up here on top of the hour here in a few. Let's do, I think you guys requested 1330. No, Rick did. KVOL. This is one I should be able to get for you. Pretty sure that oldie station in there is them. There it is.
Thanks for joining us. Worship and their walk with the Lord. How about Thanks for.
I've got KVOL at 023227.
For another edition of Equipping the
UTC. That's on 1330, Rick. For you, my friend.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Equipping the Saints with Greg Lundstedt, pastor of Equipping Bible Church.
There's the tone. They're usually pretty loud here. Good night. I don't have ears on KMBS. I'm just flabbergasted. The WBOK is not anywhere in here. I wonder if they're off the air. Because normally WBOK would be pretty strong here. All right, let's go back to 1250 and 1260, our two challenge frequencies, and we're going to hit... I don't know why I kept doing that. Let's hit top of the hour alert here.
DX Central Live top of the hour alert.
Top of the hour time frame means we are looking for IDs. We're going to start here on the Perseus. Actually, let's go back to the DX Central Kiwi here. Craig, yes, I will be hitting the firmware update for the Perseus here in this next hour here. Absolutely. I've got the page queued up right here, ready to roll for us to talk about it. All right, so let's hit here on the Northeast KAZ on... do 1250. Yeah, let's do 1250. The hard part for me here with these Louisiana tests is that at night, Louisiana stations kind of disappear a lot unless they're here in New Orleans. And apparently even some of those disappear too. Don't forget, we do have some more shout outs to get to this next hour. David Pete, Sean Kutsko, you guys are on deck with some really awesome shout outs. We'll do ours here. We're going to talk about the firmware update for the Airspy, and we might do some more meteor scatter. We are looking at 35 degrees. That's clear as day. There's no doubt in that one this time. That was to be PGP. 100% heard that ID. So that's a new one for us. I do have to get you guys hooked up with the form. I just remembered I need to go up, put that live. All right. Hitting publish now, so the DX Challenges website should be updated now with the new stuff. You may have to log out and log back in if you're in right now, but the link now should take you right to week 13. $13.60. Okay, I'll go check that one here in a minute. So we definitely got Pittsburgh there. Let's see what we caught here on the Perseus, and then we'll do top screen off. There we go. 1250. Let's look clear on lower. That was super clear. How I don't have WNDE yet on 1260 is actually kind of surprising. So far here on 1260, we have to be SDZ and KSGF. SDZ is Relevant Radio in Belleville, Illinois, and KSGF is Springfield, Missouri, with News Talk. And so now we're going to go over here and see what else we got here. And I don't know how we don't have WNDE yet. That's Town Hall. That's... who is that? Who runs Town Hall News at top of the hour on 1260? I don't think it's Springfield, and I doubt it's Relevant Radio. Although it might be. 034, you say? I've got a 0325. Pretty weak. Yeah. Not sure who that was running Town Hall there at top of the hour. That sounds like relevant there. So, all right. Let's go ahead and we'll cut the strobe here and get out of top of the hour mode. Let's do something right quick. Let's look at our new firmware update here for the Airspy. And then we'll round out the rest of the hour here, or rest of our time tonight on some FMDX. So, Airspy has released a new bit of firmware for the HF Plus Discovery and the HF Plus Dual. And I'm going to drop the links in here for you for both. Starting with the Discovery. And then we'll go grab the Dual here. The Dual port. Which is a fantastic SDR, by the way. I'm just making sure. Yes, okay. That is on there as well. All right. So those are the links. So whichever one you've got, if you have the Dual port or the Discovery, there's your links you need to go to. So I'm going to show the one for the Discovery. It's the same thing for the Dual port, though. So when you go to that page, you're going to go to the product page for the actual SDR and then scroll all the way down to the bottom down here. Right when you start to see like the distributors logos, scroll up just a tiny bit, and right here under firmware updates, that's where you're going to look for your latest stable version. It should say R5.0.1 or 12.11.24. That's where you'll go to download that. Now, all of the instructions you would need to flash your Airspy and the whole process for updating your firmware are walked through in our video that we did here on YouTube for upgrading the firmware of your Airspy HF Plus Discovery. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's about 9 minutes, so it's not super long. But walk through the whole process, what you need to do, how you need to, what you need to download, when do you connect your SDR, when do you disconnect it, all that kind of stuff. Wow, that was back when my A's hoodie actually said A's on it still a little bit. Now that's all gone, which is kind of fitting because so are the A's. They're no longer in Oakland, so it's kind of fitting that it kind of back to the future itself. It disappeared, the logo. So there you go. So this video here walks through the whole process of how you would update everything. Walks through how to get to the download page, and then how you would actually tell what version you're running, all that good stuff, how to do the flash, everything walks through in this video. So definitely check that video out. I've got the link there in the chat for you. And so what I've heard that the noise reduction on this new firmware is super fantastic. It's made the radio more sensitive. The auto gain control is much more more sensitive. It's more stable, I would say, maybe a little more consistent. So yeah, so everything that I've heard so far says that basically this new firmware is going to really give your Airspy HF Plus Discovery a nice extra kick on AM and on FM. The RDS, apparently the RDS decodes are more sensitive and a little bit better on this new firmware for our FMDX folks. So that's just reports from DXers who have done some testing. Again, I haven't gotten a chance to do the upgrade yet. Day job has gotten in the way this week. But this is on my list for this weekend, especially if I can get my new SuperLoop up, which fingers crossed that we will. So definitely, if you have an Airspy HF Plus Discovery or the dual port, but go up, use those links there, download the new version, use the link for our video so we can walk you through it. And hopefully that will help you see much even better results with a fantastic performing SDR in the Airspy HF Plus Discovery. Super great radios, and hopefully this will get you even better results. All right. So we are going to finish up our time here this evening. Let me make sure I cross everything. We've got 2 things left to do. We've got to do our shout-outs. We got those to get to, and then we're going to finish up with some Meteor Scatter as well. Let's go ahead and hit those shout outs and the horn of victory.
Give a call for every single big or small, from AM to FM to C to C. We celebrate the ones who slag the IT. Shout out loud, let it be known, you're never DXing all alone. today.
Good night, David. All right, let's do some shout-outs here as we look at, speaking of David, different David, David Pete up in Maine, our friend who helped get the WZON DX test organized. Again, that will be this coming weekend. So a week from tonight, we'll be getting ready to do that the next night. So you'll be able to join us here, same place, YouTube or on our website, dxcentrallive.com. You can join us for the WZON 620 Bangor, Maine DX test. We'll be going live here on our live stream at 11 p.m. Central Time. That's 500 UTC. And then the DX test itself starts at 600 UTC, 1 o'clock Eastern, midnight Central Time here in Mandeville, where we are. So we'll be going live, like I said, about an hour early to go kind of do some of the prep work and talk about what to expect and some of those different sweeps and tones and things like that you'll be able to listen for. Todd asks for the SuperLoop. Are we using an amp or a 16-to-1? We're just doing a hand-wound 16-to-1 transformer. This antenna is going to be big enough on its own that the gain will be too much. On my other 22 by 72 SuperLoop that I have, this is going to be about a 25 by 80 is what it's going to probably come out to. I was trying to do it bigger, but I think I'm going to have to cut it down to about 25 by 80. On the other ones, though, the 22 by 72 or even our 15 by 56 in the front yard, when I throw that 23 dB of gain on, it's just too much. It overloads. WWL and WYLD are on every frequency, so I have to throw in like 20 dB of attenuation just to make it manageable. So it's not really doing me any benefit to throw an amp on there. So I might have a couple of dB short of where it was, but it still works out really well. And the signal to noise ratio seems to be a little bit better as well. So that 16-to-1 transformer does really, really good. Let's see what else we got in here. Kyle says he's going to flash his Airspy when he gets back to his place. David Peach says he just got his flashed. Awesome. And this is the perfect time to segue into his shout out for the week. David up in Maine had 5 new logs. Holt, Michigan made its way in 1390 WLCM, 1390 WRIV in Riverhead, New York. WZHF Capitol Heights, Maryland on 1390 WFNW. I'm not even going to try to say the city name. It's in Connecticut. It's on 1380 and 730 CKDM, Manitoba, Dauphin, Manitoba. Station that I actually heard here last year for the first time in Mandeville. Heard him when I was in Omaha for a work trip, and then heard him here on our mini whip, our PA0 RDT mini whip last year. Very, very cool. Always nice to hear Manitoba here. So a couple of new logs here for him. He's got now 32 in Michigan, 118 in New York, 18 in Maryland, 32 in Connecticut, and that was his second Manitoba. So some logs sawing for our friend David. And by the way, we all owe David a huge debt of gratitude. It's late. Debt of gratitude, because he is the spearhead behind us being able to do the WZON DX test in Maine next weekend. So thank you, David, for your work on that. All of us will appreciate that, especially if that one makes it into the log. Even if it doesn't, we appreciate the effort, but hopefully it will make it into the log this week. 9 stations for our friend Sean Kutzko from this week's challenge, but 5 of them were new. WHEW 1380 in Franklin, Tennessee. WNLA, Indianola, Mississippi on 1390. KOTA 1380, Rapid City, South Dakota. Good thing Stephanie has gone for the night here. KTOE 1390, Mankato, Minnesota. I'm hoping I'm saying those names right. At Madison, South Dakota, KJAM 1390. Outside of the challenge, the northwest bog continues to reap rewards. I also installed a bog to the south, but the results have not been as solid. I may have to check out some of the hardware on that one. I think also you said it was a little shorter, didn't you? I think it was like 40 feet shorter. Also picked up a 4-position remote coax switch from Unified Microsystems as a plan for the bog expansion this season. 25 new ones this week with the bogs. Highlights include KOTA, KJAM, we mentioned in South Dakota. KSJB 600, Jamestown, North Dakota, 698 miles. KWTL, Grand Forks, North Dakota on 1370, 694 miles. WHYF, In Pennsylvania, 720 kilohertz at 596 miles. A major occurrence for me to hear anything on 720 other than WGN. They are almost impossible to null with the cleared co-channel canceller on his Airspy, but he was able to get him knocked down enough to get Pennsylvania on 720. Awesome. Several Minnesota stations now putting Minnesota total at 32. I've got 3. Don't share the love, man. With 25 more new ones this week, now sitting at 922 unique logs, with many new recordings this week to go through, hoping to get to 1,000 by the end of the season. I think that will not take long at all, my friend. So we hit the log song for you as well. All right, so those are all the shout-outs that are in now. So if you have some shout-outs, you didn't get them in, no worries. dxchallenges.com/shoutout. Send those in, and we'll be more than happy to read those on the air for you next week as we prepare for that DX test. Let's go ahead and do some of our shout-outs for the week. It's been a week of good DX here. So a couple things that came in since last we gathered. 1380 KXFN St. Louis, Missouri came in on the 8th. That was a new Missouri station for us. XEOR Reynosa in Tamaulipas, Mexico. I want to say that because I'm so proud I finally learned how to properly say Tamaulipas on 1390. XEOR came in. That put us one away. We've one more Mexican station and we'll hit our goal of 100 Mexican stations logged. That was our goal that we had for this year, was to get to a total of 100 Mexican stations. One more. All I need. Last night was the night. So we had, 2 stations this week? But last night was the night. Check this out. 1410 KOOQ, North Platte, Nebraska. 14 with their Christmas music, Reindeer Radio. Heard them last night. They were actually pretty loud. So if you haven't gotten them yet, give them a shot. They seem to be either staying on their day power or at least getting out pretty well at night. Several DXers were able to hear them last night. Reindeer Radio. Mentions of 98.1 in their ID. And they play like Christmas music, obviously, especially the classic stuff. 1420 WIMS, Michigan City, Indiana. This is a pest for our friend Sean Kutsko and several others over the Midwest. But for me, it was a new one with some classic rock in there, some 80s music. 790 WNIS, Norfolk, Virginia. This was man. Northeast KAZ. 790. We were looking for the Rhode Island EAS tests on 790 and 920. Instead, on 790, WNIS, Norfolk, Virginia, which I know Jacob also heard last night from Minnesota for a new log for him. We also heard WAMM in Mount Jackson, Virginia on 790 last night. They were coming through with some country music and things like that, some kind of Americana music, and was able to match it up with their live stream. So very cool. And also, for our third station on 790 last night, WNTC Ashland City, Tennessee, with some kind of funk soul oldies music in there last night. A couple of other folks also heard them last night. So if you don't have WNTC, give them a shot on 790. They are getting out pretty well. 1470 WMGG rounded out our week this week. Egypt Lake, Florida. That was actually this evening right before the live stream. And I was chasing that one because I had not logged a station on 1470 for about 2 years. So I have a goal. One of my goals is to get everything either last season or this season, every single frequency with a log either last season or this season as the most recent log. 1470 was one of the last 5 left. So I got 4 now left to do. And that one now puts me at 1,025 stations logged here in Mandeville. And 25 so far in the month of December. Last year in December, we did 66, so we are on track for December to match what we did last year, which I didn't think was going to be possible, but here we are. There we go. And so a couple of those, like the Nebraska, I think that one put me at 5 Nebraskas. The Virginia, though, I thought it was triple. I miscounted. I doubled last night my Virginia station count last night on 790. 2 stations, doubled my number, so now I have 4 from Virginia. And the Tennessee got us to 63 and the Florida got us to 94. So looking pretty good. Oh, and the Indiana got us to 9 from Indiana. So there we go. All right. I think what we're going to do, because it is getting pretty late and I'm starting to kind of have a difficulty getting my words out because the tiredness is setting in from the long work week. we're going to save these meteor scatters because I want to do some more recordings over the next couple of days. We're going to save some of our meteor scatter review for next week, and we'll kind of focus mostly on that for the most part next week, because when we change to our new DX challenge next week, we're not actually going to be able to do that challenge DX next week on the show. And you'll see why when we get to the next week. And plus, a lot of attention will be getting ready for WZON and the holidays and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do some FM meteor scatter look next week, and we'll finish that up. And yeah, do some antenna work this weekend. Hopefully you guys have a great week of DX. We'll see you again next Friday as we launch a new era of the medium wave frequency challenge with our theme-based approach. Good luck this week on 1250 and 1260. I expect to see some of you hearing KBRH for the first time in Red Stick, Baton Rouge, with their blues music, because I want to hand out some gumbo next week. So hopefully you guys will do that. Take care, my friends. 73 Best of DX. We'll see you next week right here on DX Central Live.
This is DX Central Live. This is DX Central Live. This is DX Central Live.